I expect some kind of recalibration of the government's response to the COVID-19 pandemic. So obviously we're not faring well. Our country is not faring well in dealing with this the virus. So I expect a recalibration of the government's response. That's the first thing. The second thing I expect, which I also hope that the president discusses in the SONA, is a path forward. So we shouldn't be just be worried about what's happening now. As many analysts have said, that this pandemic has really hit us very hard, and there's really a challenge on policymakers to provide a coherent and clear and viable path forward from this pandemic. When we look at our government response, the question that will be raised is who's really in charge? Because there are so many people talking for the government. Now, to answer, maybe more visibility from the president will not solve that, because the real problem is how the management structure of the response was created. No, the management structure is a perfect example of the cliche that too many cooks will spoil the broth, because there are so many people involved in making decisions regarding this pandemic that, kumbaga sa Tagalog pa, maraming nagpapabida masyado and that's the problem. That's the root of the problem. So I'm not sure if making or forcing the president to be more visible will solve that. What will solve that is to copy or at least to benchmark what the other nations have done, which is to have a lean management structure at the government level. So there's only the head of the government, which is the president or the prime minister, and the health minister, and that's it. The rest are just support elements to that structure. Pero sa atin kasi we have like, I think the last count, we have three vice chair groups, no, handling this pandemic. There's a economic cluster, there's a social cluster, and there's a public order cluster. So there's really it's inevitable for the messages to get mixed up, and I'm not sure if the president being more visible will actually solve that. Let's re-identify this pandemic as a health crisis para sa Pilipinas. Let's stop with the militarized approach. Let's stop with this politicized approach. Let's look at this as plain and simple health crisis, and therefore we should give in to science. We should give in to scientific evidence, and let's craft policies out of that. Let's set aside first those matters that concern politics, that matters that concern elections in 2022. Let's look at this for what it is, which is a health problem, which is a health crisis, and let's craft a plan based on that admission. Okay, yun para sa akin. That is really the state of the nation assessment that I want. I don't want anymore to dwell on the other problems like charter change or terrorism or whatever. What I want first and foremost is for us to have a collective view that this is a health crisis, and then let's proceed from there.